Hi, good evening everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So my name is Pooja Bhagat, and I'm working as an associate data scientist in AiSPRY. So today, today we are going to learn about web scraping with Python. So first, let us understand what is that web scraping. So basically, web scraping means collecting data automatically from websites. Okay, collecting data automatically from website. Like instead of manually copying and pasting data, we write a Python program which does the work for us. Okay, so like for example, suppose we want to check a Flipkart mobile prices daily. So web scraping can help us fetch those prices automatically, or if we want to, if we want all today's news headlines from news websites, so we can scrap that also. So basically, it is like having a robot which goes to website and reads the information and bring it to us. So now like where we can use this like huh. so some common use cases are like price comparison, market research, that sentiment analysis, academic research. Like what is price comparison? Price comparison means checking the prices from Amazon, Flipkarts, etc. And market research means like uh, that collecting product information, customer reviews, and that like news reviews collection means like analyzing reviews to know if customer are happy or unhappy. Then academic research means collecting data like articles, reports, or statistic from online sources. So web scraping is very useful when we want large data from the web in less time. Okay, so now that we have understood what is that web scraping and why it is useful. So let us talk about tools required for doing the web scraping with Python. So when we do web scraping, we mainly need three Python libraries and one browser tool. So first is request. So this is first tool is called request. So this is library is used to download the web page from the internet. So you can think of it like this, like when you type a URL in your browser and press enter, the browser sends a request to that website and website sends back to the page. Okay, so the request library does the same thing but inside Python code. Like for example, you can see here like in the code that here in a request.get it sends a request to the website, and that response.text shows the HTML code of that web page. Okay, so then second library is beautiful soap library. Okay, once we download the web page, then we get a big block of HTML code. But this raw HTML is very hard to read and understand. So beautiful soap help us to price this HTML and find the exact part we need. Okay, so for example, like if we want all the headings from the web page, then we can ask beautiful so to search for that headings like h1 h2 tags. Okay, so similarly, if we want all the links, so we can ask it to search for the a tags. Okay, so for example, you can see here so that mm, so this beautiful library will give us all the headings inside the H1 tags. Okay. So then third library is pandas library. Okay, pandas is not compulsory, but it is very useful after we collect the data. But why? So because pandas helps us to save the data in a proper table format. Like for example, suppose we scrap product names like their prices and rating. So pandas allow us to put this information in rows and columns, and then save it as a CSV or Excel file. Like for example, you can see here, like this code saves the data in a CSV file. Okay. Then last, our apart from that Python libraries, we also need one browser tool, that means inspect element. So when you open a website in a Chrome or any browser, or you can right click on the page and select inspect, this shows like you the like HTML code of that web page. Then using this tool, we can find out which tag contain the data we want. Like for example, in e-commerce site, the product name might be inside a span tag, which is a special class name. So we can copy that tag name or a class and then tell beautiful soap to extract it. Okay, so those are the tools we required. Okay. Then now that we know which tools are required, let us understand the basic steps of the web scraping. So when we scrap the data from a website like using Python, the process happen in a four main steps. So those steps are send request to web page, then pairs HTML content, then extract required data and save the data. I will explain those steps one by one. Okay. The first step is send a request to the website. So we use the request library for this. Okay. Just like when you type a URL in the URL in a browser and hit enter, the browser asks the website for the page. Then similarly, our Python code asks the website for the page, and the website sends back the HTML code. For for example, this import request and that response and print, this will print the HTML content of that website. Okay. Then next step is, once we get the web page, it is a full of that raw HTML code. Then this HTML is not easy to read or directly use now. So we need to we need to paste it using like a beautiful soap. So pasting means breaking down the HTML into structure that Python can easily understand and work with. For example, from that BS for import beautiful, now like the soap, that soap object allows us to search inside the HTML code. Then we then after parsing, we need to extract the specific data we are interested in. So okay, so every website store a data inside the HTML tags, like H1 for headings, P for paragraphs, A for links. So using beautiful soap, we can find all these tags easily. Okay, like for example, that title, this will collect all headings and links from the web page. Then finally, after extracting the data, we need to store it in a proper format so that we can use it later. Then we can store the data in like a CSV file, Excel sheet, or even in the databases. So for this, the pandas library is useful. So for example, here import pandas as PD. So this code this code saves all the headings into the CSV file. Okay, so the four steps are like of the web scrapings are like, first, send a request. Send a request means get the web page using request. Then pairs HTML that use beautiful soap to understand the structure. Then extract tags, like find data inside tags like H1, P, or A. Then last, store the data. Save it in CSV, Excel, or a database using pandas. With these steps, we can scrap almost any website in a structured way. Okay, then this is the example code. So now let us see one practical example of web scraping using Python. So like we will scrap data from website called quotes to scrap. What is called as quotes to scrap. Okay. Then for example, any link that is a link that quotes.toscrap.com. Okay. So this is a simple website created especially for practice. So it is a perfect for learning. So our goal is to collect quote along with another name. So first steps like first we import the required libraries. Import request from VS for import beautiful soap. Request will help us download the web page, and then beautiful soap will help us parse the HTML and extract the data. Okay, then our URL. Now we give the URL of the website and download it. Okay, then that response here request dot get URL, it sends a request to the website and stores in the response. Okay, so the response contain the HTML code of that web page. Then now we pairs. Okay, now we pairs that HTML using beautiful soap. Okay, so here that response.text gives us HTML content like beautiful. So convert it into a structure where we can easily search for tags. Okay, then next we find all the codes and their and authors. Okay, so on this website, every quote is inside a span. Okay, every quote is inside a span tag. The tag this is with the class text, and then the author name is inside the that small tag with the class author. We checked this earlier. We checked this earlier by using the that browser inspect tool. So then we just display the like now let that this will print all the codes along with their authors. Okay, this print will here we are using loop through all the codes. Codes I dot text means it gives us the text of the codes, and then author I dot text means it gives us the name of the author. When we run this program, the output like it will give that code with their author. And so in a just few lines of Python code, we have like successfully scrapped codes with author names from live websites. So first we have to give the request for the download web page. Then using beautiful soap, we paste the HTML code. Then we are finding the tags. Then we're printing and that show the data. This was a simple but very powerful example of the like how web scraping works. Then now that we have extracted the quotes and authors, the next step is to save that data. So right now our output is just printed in a terminal. But for real projects, we usually want to store a data in a proper format so that we can use it later for analysis. So the most common format are like CSV files, Excel sheet, or databases. So here I will I will show like how you save the data into CSV file using pandas library. So first import pandas. So pandas is a Python library using for handling tabular data. Then it allows to create a table with rows and columns, just like a Excel. Then create a dictionary. Like here we are creating a dictionary where the key is a quote content list of all quotes, and the key author, it contains a list of all the authors. Okay, so every quote will match with its author in a same row. Okay, then it's then convert it to the data frame, this data frame data, df is equals to pd dot data frame data. This created data frame into pandas, which is basically a table. Each row will have a one quote and its a author. Then we are saving it into a CSV file. So that df.toCSV, this line saves the data frame to a file called quotes CSV. Okay. Then index is equals to false means we don't want to save extra index numbers. Then we once save, we can open this file in a Excel or any text editor. So then we print it. This simply prints a message to confirm that our file has been saved or not. Okay. Then after running this code, we will get a file name codes.csv. If we open it, we will see it in a nice table like codes and author. Okay, so this is like extracted codes and authors stored in the dictionary, then converted to pandas data frame, then save it to CSV file. Then now we have a clean and reusable data set for analysis. This is how we move from raw scrapped data to a structured file that can be used for further processing. Then ethical consideration means that before we close the session, it's very important to talk about ethics of a web scrapping. Scrapping is a powerful tool, but if you don't use it responsibly, it can create a problems. Like check robot.txt, allow or not, means almost every website has a file called a robots.txt. This file tells which part of the websites can be accessed by bots and which parts are restricted. So before scrapping, we should check robots.txt to confirm whether scrapping is allowed or not, like that. Okay. Then don't overload the server, means if we send too many requests in a short time, the server maybe get like overloaded. Then this can be slow down the websites or even it crash it. So always add delay between the request it and like scrap slowly, just like a normal user would. Like a normal user also can would be browse. Okay. Then copyright and privacy means the data on the website may have a copyright protection. Also, some websites contain a personal or a private information. Then we should never like misuse such data and always respect that legal boundaries. And general rules are the golden rule. The golden rule is scrap responsibility. So always thinking, if someone scrap my website this way, then would it be acceptable? Like, think that way. So always remember, check robot.txt, don't spam the servers, then follow copyright and privacy laws. Always scrap responsibly. So this way we can use web scraping as a useful and ethical tool without causing harm. So, okay, friends, let's quickly summarize what we learned today. So first we learn about the what is web scraping. So it means extracting data from websites automatically. Then tools we need that request, beautiful soap, pandas, then steps of scrapping, then use cases, then ethical uses. So in short, like web scraping, send the request, then brace, then extract, then save, then use it ethically, like that. So all right, friends, that was our session on web scraping with Python. Well, and in a 2 days lecture, we covered all these things like basic steps and working code and how to save the data and ethical consideration. I hope now you have a clear idea about how to get started with web scraping. So if you found this session useful, to try the code example yourself and practice on small websites and then slowly move to bigger projects. Then thank you so much for joining this live lecture. Stay tuned for the next session and keep practicing. See you all in next lecture. Thank you so much.